Hello, friends. We've got another hour to go, one more to go, and we'll call it a holiday as we are off tomorrow and Friday celebrating Thanksgiving with family and friends. Hope you've got big plans, but we're not taking anything for advantage, or we're not taking advantage of this hour. We are going hard at it until 7 o'clock tonight, gobblers and all. Jackson Williams is behind the glass.
What's up?
What's going on?
Nothing much.
Just
gobbling.
Jay Harper is back there in News Closet B. He continues to gather headlines. Obviously, it's a fun day. It's a Thanksgiving holiday Eve edition. That's perfectly acceptable, by the way, Jackson.
But today would be, for us,
it's Thanksgiving Eve.
It's Thanksgiving Eve. That's not a holiday.
It's Thanksgiving Eve.
You just killed a puppy.
That's
Yes.
not true. That's not how any of that
We're
works.
not putting Eve. If we, you know what? I'll agree with you on Friday Eve. If we're not,
Now, see,
we're
you
doing,
just killed a puppy. So you say that and you kill a puppy.
It wouldn't technically today be Friday Eve.
No, today's Wednesday.
Today would be Friday.
No, today's not. Today's Wednesday.
But have you done the math?
Oh, I've done the math.
We don't work tomorrow, Friday.
Correct.
So today is our Friday. Yesterday was our Thursday, our Friday Eve, you might say. And then Monday was Wednesday.
You keep this up, I'm going home. I'm going to find a laboratory.
Yeah, my brains are already scrambled after
Right.
hearing that.
That's awful. What you just did to everyone is awful.
Have you ever seen Billy Madison?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone is now dumber
Dumber.
for hearing what you just had to say.
May God have mercy
See
on
on
your
your
soul. All right, 615-737-9986. We'll get to telephone calls momentarily. I do want to update you. 2 National Guardsmen, if you're just joining us on the show. Earlier today, 2 National Guardsmen in Washington, D.C. were shot. They are in critical condition. There was a report that they had died. That came out of the West Virginia governor's office. He retracted that report. It now does appear that they are in critical condition. It appears that it was an ambush near the White House. And our prayers go out to the National Guardsmen, 1 male, 1 female, we believe, that have been shot and put in harm's way in that fashion. The individual responsible for the shooting is in custody, had no identification, was arrested. When arrested, was shot, but is not critical enough that they're not trying to get some cooperation out of the individual. And apparently the individual is not cooperating whatsoever. No identification when arrested and not cooperating. That's the latest on that. Representative Justin Pearson writes, he's from over in Memphis. He's the representative over there running for the congressional seat occupied by Steve Cohen and will win it, by the way. Justin Pearson will be a congressman. Just not saying he should be, saying he will be. I'm sorry to learn about the 2 members of the National Guard being shot and in critical condition in D.C. Gun violence must end. We need laws to limit access to prevent these tragedies. These service members should be home, not deployed as a tyrant's pawns. Praying for them. All right, 1, politicizing an act of domestic terrorism in this fashion is on brand for Democrats. And obviously, I don't know. I've not heard what type of weapon was used in this shooting. Justin Pearson, I would guarantee you, hasn't heard either. He just, whatever it was, take it, seize it, make it illegal. Handgun, y'all know that that's the goal of liberal Democrats, is to make all ownership of all guns illegal. That is their goal, and they're not even hiding it anymore. Secondarily, Justin, you ever think, and I'm just reading, these service members should be home, not deployed as a tyrant's pawns. You ever think referring to our duly elected president of the United States of America as a tyrant might inspire your supporters and others to engage in this type of activity and violence? You ever think that? How about you stop with the incendiary language, pal? You good with that? Or no? Feels like they never learn. Mike is in Old Hickory. Hello, Mike.
How you doing?
Mike, I'm great. I hope you are. Happy Thanksgiving Eve.
Seriously, I hope you are too. We're in a deflection period in this country, and we're going to get Thanksgiving, to freedom. I hope. So when Donald Trump got on with Mamdani and just said, I'll give you anything you want, Donald Trump lost my support.
Mm-hmm.
The GOP lost my support because he basically said, I'm going to help you save New York because New York is so important in the world that I'm willing to give you whatever you need to save New York. And he told that to a socialist communist that got elected mayor, who is now going to get a 16% increase in pay because of the New York City Council just voted in a massive pay increase for all those socialist communists. So what I'm saying to you, Matt, is look, we're going down the path of socialism. We're going down the path of communism. And I just, when everybody goes to their tables and eats their turkey or ham or whatever, you better discuss something. Our freedoms are about to go away next November when the GOP is going to be wiped out.
You eat ham on Thanksgiving?
No.
Okay. I'm just
I
asking.
don't eat ham.
Well, I mean, you brought ham up.
Well, that's what people do.
People eat ham on Thanksgiving? I guess if you don't like turkey, maybe you go for ham.
That's what happened.
I always felt ham was more Easter in my family. We did ham on Easter. Deviled eggs, ham.
Nope.
No? Okay. What will be on your Thanksgiving menu tomorrow, Mike?
It's going to be turkey, a turkey breast.
Oh, that sounds delicious. You got any family coming over, or what's the deal?
Yeah, I've got ones coming over, and we're gonna, we're gonna have some gravy on it, like you were talking about. It better not come on the airlines, right?
Yeah, better not take that gravy on the airplane. No.
Yeah. No. Well, anyway.
Hey, Mike.
What I'm trying to say is
Yeah.
that I want you to be happy, and this country better start waking up because we're going to get creamed. The conservatives, the people that really believe in this country, we're going to get creamed next November because these socialists.
Oh, creamed corn. That's good, too. Creamed corn is good.
They're taking over. Look at all the great cities of this country.
Are you a fan? Are you a fan of the creamed corn, Mike?
Cream corn?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm hoping
I got it right off the grill where you take the corn cob and you put a little butter on it and a little garlic and you roast it.
You just mentioned getting creamed in it. Reminded me of creamed corn. Hey, look, I made Mike laugh. I think Mike laughed at his own joke. It's pretty good. Thank you, Mike. You know what? I thought that the meeting between Mom Donnie and Trump was masterful on Trump's part. Donald Trump is a great negotiator, one of the best. And Donald Trump understands that Mom Donnie is not going to do half, 3/4, 4/5, 90% of the socialist type of rhetoric that he claimed that he would get it done in New York City during the campaign. He's not going to get it done. And so Donald Trump is manipulating Mom Donnie as he is able to do. But I don't believe that he's working with him in any other way that wouldn't benefit the people of New York and New York City generally. Follette writes in and says, cream corn, I love you, Matt. No, I mean, I love creamed corn. I mean, he mentioned getting creamed, and I thought, man, I could go for some creamed corn. I don't think we're doing green bean casserole. Yeah, green bean casserole is always kind of overhyped. You know, I'd rather have, you know what I'd rather have? I'd rather have green beans. Green beans. With maybe a little onion, a little bacon in there, chopped up. Can you tell I'm getting hungry?
Yes, I can tell.
Yeah. What about you? You ready to go?
Get a little snacky.
Get a little something. Oh, well, there's a whole turkey in there in the fridge. Just bust that out like you would on just pretend you're on a big airplane.
I thought you were
Jackson.
saving that for your lavatory meal, your pre-lavatory meal.
Right. Matt is in Shelbyville. Hello, Matt.
Hey, long time no talk to.
Yes,
Matt.
sir. I'm doing well. I hope you are.
Can't complain. Can't complain. And if I did, nobody listened. So, But let me talk to you about. Let's try to put on our thinking cap. We have conservatives in this country and liberals in this country, and I think you can agree that both parties have not done the best for the citizens of this country. And it takes some time for everybody to come up with that opinion. And when you do that, you'll bring in socialism, socialist parties, or just the idea of Marxism and communism and socialism. So if you do not want these three alternates, then you need to start taking care of the two primaries. And if you don't, you're going to give a foothold to other situations that you might not really want.
I've said for a long time, Matt, that today's Republicans are yesterday's Democrats, and today's Democrats are yesterday's socialists. And I don't see a lot of conservatives walking around anymore. Certainly fiscal conservatives, right? So, and I've been saying that for 20 years. When I was in Montgomery, Alabama, and I started my talk show, I was like, today's Republicans aren't conservative. They're more like Democrats. I said 20 years ago that if JFK were around in 2005, that he would be a Republican, right? So we're watching in real time a shift in American politics, and I wouldn't suggest that hasn't always been going on. It has always gone on. What we have walked away from is the possibility of legitimate third parties, and I would love to see third parties rise up, one or two, I don't care how many, because it is a part of the American tradition that we have multiple parties vying for that level of control. The Democrats and the Republicans love that you have to pick between Pepsi and Coke. You know what I mean? They don't want any other interlopers in the mix. I think we are better served when there are other political parties that are viable and that are flourishing in the mix. I wish that my beloved Libertarian Party would get its act together, but sadly they don't seem to be able to get out of their own way.
Well, also, but we have one major beast that all parties are going to have to deal with, and that is the corporations of this country. See, the corporations run this country. And anytime corporations run this country, that means that's the 1%, and everybody else turns into a consumer. So we will always. This is why our prices are so high. The consumers are making billions while we are working 80 hours a week and can't afford anything. So how about we fix?
Well, how would you go about it? Well, I'm willing to listen. I would push back on the concept, but I'll hold off on doing that. What would you do if I were to agree with you that the quote unquote corporations, and I don't really know what that means, are running the country? What do you do about it?
What I do about it is all. And I don't. I'm just thinking. I don't know. I'm not an economist, and I don't know how it could work. But I will say that every citizen that works for a corporation company gets profit sharing.
What?
They get profit sharing. Whoever you work for get profit sharing.
How does that diminish corporate influence in American politics?
It is when it doesn't diminish. It just gives more to the person that's doing the work. So if I'm working for quote Amazon, who's making billions, and they're allowed to pay.
So you don't believe that I should be able to privately own my business?
I believe that you have the right to own your business, but not.
Hold on. Stop for a second.
Okay.
You just said that every worker within a company,
Right.
you would make it so that I would be required to offer them profit sharing.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Isn't that ownership in the business?
I guess you could say that.
So you're
But
saying that the government should intervene with my ability to privately own my business and simply hire out employees.
I think that we have, or businesses have manipulated a way where they can turn around and make ungodly amount of money at the backs of the people that are making the money for them. It's one thing to have an idea, but you got to have ants. You got to have workers to do this. And you can't slave the American people. Well, they're doing it right now. And now they're complaining because they don't have any money, and yet all of these corporations are trillionaires. So,
Wait, no, the corporations are trillionaires. What does that mean?
Well, that means
Corporations are made up of what?
a business of products from all types.
No. Let me throw a word out at you and see if you agree with me. Okay?
Okay.
Corporations are made up of shareholders.
They are.
Okay. So shareholders make profit.
They do.
Those are people, human beings
do.
like you and like me.
Right.
Right? So what's wrong with that?
Nothing. But those shareholders are not doing the work. See, if those shareholders were doing the work,
Their shareholders are taking the risk.
okay. But again, that's fine. But there should be a cap of.
Well, look. If I'm all about Matt, I'm all about if a business owner wants to decide to offer profit sharing to their employees, they're probably going to get happier employees and better employees as a result. But what I would not want to do is to have government involve itself in that voluntary contract between a business and an employee in a way that would force the business to do certain things because the government demands it. That type of interloping creates a dynamic that leads to socialism.
Okay, but we're going to have to find a median.
I think we've got one pretty good. I think we got a pretty good one working right now. That the government involves itself in ensuring that certain businesses do not take advantage in certain ways that give them leverage above other businesses. That we provide a level and equitable playing field, and that we, as a society, set up certain rules of the road in terms of how they're going to treat their employees. I'm fine with that, and then let those businesses that will flourish.
But the businesses are flourishing, and the citizens of this country are the poverty line.
No, we're not. No, that is just a fallacy. The American people, who's got it? I mean, the American people have it pretty good. We've never had it better in the United States of America. It is a fallacy that that there's been a time that we've had it better.
Really?
Yes. Name me a time that we've had it better.
Well, better is subjective. You've had your problems in every decade. You've had problems. I'll tell you what, Matt.
Look, call me back. I'd love to continue the conversation. I got to run. Call me back at any time. We'll continue this conversation. I understand that people want to believe that it used to be so much better. That's not true. I mean, even when people look back, we used to be able to own homes. Do you see the type of homes we used to own? And that's fine. I'm not knocking the type of homes that existed back then. People say, oh, man, 40 years ago, you could work on one income and own a home, and kids could go. Well, kids didn't go to college back then. And the homes that they owned, little 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom homes, 8 people living in it. Guys, I mean, we are guilty of living high on the hog. We are guilty of probably overspending. We are guilty of a lot of things individually in this country. But any suggestion that we've ever had it better in the United States of America is just not true. It continues to get better. Now, I don't know if we're not seeing the zenith right now, and sadly, I think AI might be a big part of that. It's 26 after the hour. I'd love to hear from you. We'll lighten things up with a little Thanksgiving talk coming up as well. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It is the Matt Murphy Radio Show, 39 minutes, almost 40 after, 20 until 7. We'll call it a weekend at that time. That's right. We're done for Thanksgiving, and we will not be here on Friday. A best of on Thanksgiving Day and a best of we can manage on the Friday after Thanksgiving. Thanks again to all of you. We appreciate and are thankful to Ken Weaver, who's normally back in News Closet. BJ Harper's been there all day today. We're thankful for all of our coworkers on Super Talk 99.7 WT. And I was thankful to hear Brian Wilson's voice today, subbing in for Chad Benson. Thankful for Chris Hand, for Dan Mandis, and the rest of the crew here. And believe it or not, I'm thankful for Jackson Williams.
I'm thankful for you too, buddy.
Aw, how about that? You want a hug? No?
Maybe after the show.
Maybe not.
Not on camera.
Nah, maybe not. Anyway, many of you reflecting on your Thanksgiving on the super text line. You're welcome to do so if you so desire. Fletch writes in and says, love you, Matt. But my dad had 5 kids in the 90s and a stay-at-home mom for us making $50K a year. I make $120K, and I'm a single dad, and I manage, but some people have it so hard. People raising kids, starting business, buying homes, had it way easier than our generation does. I disagree. Today, the average first-time home buyer is 40 years old. What was it in the 1990s? Not about the 1990s, but the types of homes that are being offered to individuals that are first-time home buyers are way different than they were back in the day. Also, people make it a priority or made it a priority to get into that type of thing much earlier than they do nowadays. Those are personal choices. Those are not choices that somehow society has directed them down this road. My dad worked at that job right out of the Marines, no college, had no time to coach mine and my brother's baseball and basketball teams, have weekends off, you name it. Or had time to coach mine and my brother's basketball and baseball teams. This is in no way a shot at my father. I love and respect him more than anything, but even he himself will say how much harder it is to get going in today's economy and time versus the 1990s. We have a lot nicer things nowadays. You know, we forget the things that we perhaps did not have. And there are expenses that we use our money for that we did not use our money for back in the day. I mean, there are reasons that a lot of that you're talking about. I don't deny you your reality, Fletch. Obviously, it is what it is. But, cell phone technology, for example, is just a good example. How many televisions do you have in the home versus how many televisions did you have in the home back in the day? I mean, times were different because times were different. Homes were different. When I grew up, my grandfather and my grandmother bought a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home with a living area, a couple of bedrooms, bathroom, a kitchen, and that was it. My grandfather built a dining room onto the home himself. He then built an extension, a new bathroom off of the existing bathroom so that he could make the existing bathroom, which is very teeny, a wash room for the laundry, for a washer and dryer. Previous to that, my grandmother washed clothes out in what we called the wash house, which was out back, and we hung all of our clothes to dry. I'm just saying that to suggest that things were different. People remember things as more affordable, but I would suggest that we don't remember the things that we did not have as a result of not just not having them. And, I remember back in the day, too, my grandfather worked his butt off. Sometimes, 14 hours a day. He'd leave at 5:30 in the morning and get back at 7 o'clock at night. Now, it wasn't every day, obviously. For the most part, he would leave at 7 and get back at 5 or somewhere around that time. My grandfather was a self-employed mechanic all of his working life. And, well, not all of his working life. He was self-employed because my mother had brain cancer and he had to raise 3 grandchildren on top of the 2 kids that he had already raised. But he did so in a middle-class fashion. But so we had there were 3 of us at one point that were in one bedroom. The point I'm making is that I do think that we remember the good things. We tend to forget that which we did not have. And I would suggest to you that we have it pretty good in the United States of America. The American dream is not lost. We can lose it. I think if we continue down the road of dependence on government, we will lose it. I do not believe that we are seeing, the big quote-unquote corporations take advantage of the American people to the point that the American people can't succeed through working at these companies. I don't believe that that's true at all. Brian joins us next on the show. Hey, Brian.
Hey, I'm thankful because I was in boys' homes, foster homes, got kicked out when I was 16 in Wisconsin, sleeping on a park bench. Did I say the government owed me? No, I picked up my bootstraps, got my GED, and went to HVAC school. And now I'm running 3 trucks. I got 200-some thousand a year, and I'm doing good.
Yeah, that's good, brother. That's excellent. You feeling good about it?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
So I just want to tell everybody, hey, when you're down, you go up. So just telling everybody have a great Thanksgiving.
You do too, brother. I appreciate you. I'm thankful for you, Brian. I'm thankful for all of our listeners. Thanksgiving is a matter of being thankful for that which we have been blessed, with which we have been blessed. And we have so many blessings in the United States of America. We do. We're blessed to be born here. I like to say, you've probably heard me say it, that in the United States of America, absent mental or physical disability or disease, that long-term poverty is a choice. That doesn't mean that good people can't have bad things happen to them. Of course they can. But understand and hear the words that I say, that in the United States of America, absent mental or physical disability or disease, that long-term poverty is a choice. It is. Poverty. I'm not talking about affluence or being rich. Poverty. And what we consider poverty in the United States of America is a different standard than around the rest of the world. The rest of the world can't say that. There are some places where you are born into slavery based on the condition of your birth. Slavery meaning not, a physical slavery like we think of slavery back in the history books, or we think of slavery happening in some parts of the world today, but you are a slave to the nation that you're born in, that you do not have an opportunity like we do in the United States of America to use the intelligence that God gave you, to use the work ethic that God gave you, to use the determination and your own individual talents to succeed. Absent just random one-offs. If you're born, you think people born in Haiti have a shot? Boy, it's rare. You've got to demonstrate some sort of athletic prowess or ability, and even then, most of those people, they never succeed because they never get an opportunity to succeed. No one ever finds them. I know that it's easy to, I won't say that's what y'all are doing. None of y'all are doing this, but I think it's easy to kind of focus on the negative or focus on maybe what we don't have individually and not focus on the things that we do have. And we have so many blessings in the United States of America, but it takes a certain level of responsibility to keep those blessings and to make sure that we cultivate that fertile soil so that it is left behind for our children and our children's children and their children. I don't know that we're doing a lot of that anymore. Sadly, what I see most of the nation doing is they're putting their hands out and they're asking the government to do something for them. They're demanding that elected leaders do something for them. And I wouldn't pretend that it's a lot. I wouldn't pretend that it's a majority, but it is enough that we notice that, especially amongst the younger generations, there comes a certain level of expectation that they will get something for, dare I say, nothing. But I am thankful. I remain supremely thankful for the things that we have and the things that we enjoy. And we, as a talk show, I, as a host, often focus on the negative because, that's what we're here to fix, right? And so I like to take the opportunity to make sure that we focus a little bit on the positive and the good things that are happening in our world. I think we'll have a good thing happen next Tuesday. I think Matt Van Epps will. This latest poll is a scare tactic on the part of liberals to try to motivate them into believing that they can win. I don't believe it for a moment. I think Matt Van Epps will eventually win by 10 or maybe even 12 percentage points. That's a good thing. He's not a perfect candidate, of course not. Once again, we get caught up in the little things. We argue so often about the minutia of the directions that our country's going in that we forget the big picture, that we've got it better than most. We're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and there's some ways that we are failing our own people, but in so many ways we succeed in spite of, as opposed to because of. It's 10 until the top of the hour. We'll wrap things up. Ask Jackson Williams what the favorite thing he will eat tomorrow is. That's coming up next on Super Talk 7 WTN. Gobble, gobble. Winding our way to Thanksgiving. Get a Rita real quick. Hello, Rita.
Hey.
Hey, Rita.
How are you?
I'm fine, Rita.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Matt. I just want to tell you something real quick, okay?
Uh-huh.
I am a registered nurse. I've been nursing for 30 years. I have a bachelor's degree. No big whoop, but that's what I've done for the last 30 years. And when I started, I was single. I had a child under 2 years old, and I knew how to make money. But if I did that and went to school, I would never see my baby. And so I elected to investigate the government assistance, and I got on United Child Care, which was a assistance for child care by Bill Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
He had a limit on it. You could do it for 2 years. That's all. And that worked out perfectly because then she could go to Head Start. But I also was on food stamps, and people talk now about being on thousands of dollars of food stamps. I had $200 a month, and I got on Section 8 housing because when I first started, I was in a domestic violence shelter.
Well, Rita, I don't mean to rush you, but we don't have a lot of time left. So,
well, I just want to tell you, all of that gave me the boost that I needed.
Yes.
And from there, I used it for what it was used for, not to stay on it for years and years and years.
Well, that's fair. Yeah.
It was just what I needed. It was just what I needed, and I was glad for it. But that's changed since.
Well,
then.
you seem like you never lost sight of the idea that the goal was not to stay on it. The goal was to get off it.
Well, of course, I was actually, embarrassed, but I also knew I had a goal and I knew what I was headed for. And so anyway,
I am thankful that you have succeeded in that. I mean, that's just wonderful.
Yeah.
That's
and my daughter's wonderful. She's
Good.
wonderful. She's got a wonderful husband and children, and I actually, I don't want to say too much more. Some people may recognize me. But,
well, Rita, we appreciate you, and I thank you for that story, and God bless you, and you have a good Thanksgiving. I've got to scoot, okay?
God bless you.
All right.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving
Bye-bye.
to you. Take care. Hey, Jackson.
Yeah.
What must go on the plate tomorrow?
Got to have some type of tater on your plate tomorrow.
Like mashed?
Any of it.
Casserole?
Any of it.
Yeah. I'm a dressing guy. Love the dress. I mean, that's what Thanksgiving's all about to me. The turkey and the dress, and that's what it's all about. And the giving of the thanks. Spend some good time with family and friends. We'll see you on Monday of next week. Until then, for Jackson, for Jay, and for everyone else, hug your loved ones. Happy Thanksgiving. So long.